This year, here in Montana, we went directly from summer to winter. The leaves were still green when they hit the ground. We didn't get any of those nice fall colors this year. Sometimes that happens. We just got a really deep freeze and it went straight to winter. Of course, when that happened, I had to immediately get out and winterize my cabin. Make sure all the water was disconnected and things were drained. Same thing with the trailers. This little cargo trailer doesn't have much, but it's got a few things that need to be done every winter. Some of the things people don't even think about, but I'll show you. And also I've got a little trick for winterizing the plumbing system on your regular camp trailer that I learned years ago that I'm going to share with you later in the video, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you empty the water out of your containers that are stored in your trailer, because if you don't, the water can freeze in here, expand and burst the container, and then when it thaws out, it's going to flood your trailer. And I know somebody that happened to, and you don't want that to happen to you. Empty these out. Also, any other liquids in your trailer that can freeze and burst. You know, from bottles of Windex, who knows what you got in there. Make sure you take out all those kind of things and put them somewhere safe where they're not going to damage your trailer if that does happen. Also, I like to keep my tires covered to protect them from the sun, because they'll get sun rot and it'll really shorten the lifespan of your tire. You'll see cracking on the sidewalls when that happens, and that makes the tire unsafe. These are pretty cheap. Walmart or your trailer supply store, you can pick up a pair of these or a set of these and at least keep them on the sunny side. And one thing you want to be sure and do is remove the battery from your trailer. The reason you remove your battery from your trailer is if you're living in a cold climate, you need to protect it from freezing. Now, when a battery is charged, it won't freeze. But as it sits out in your trailer, out there in the cold, that charge level keeps going lower and lower and lower because you're not using it. And then when the charge goes out of the battery, it will freeze. So you need to bring your battery in and put it somewhere safe where it can't happen. What I like to do is bring the battery inside, and I like to put a charge on it. Before you charge it, you want to take off the caps. If your battery is not a sealed battery, you want to take off these caps here. Make sure that the fluid level is up, and if it's not, then you want to add some distilled water to each cell just to bring it up to the bottom of the O-ring in the bottom. You'll see when you fill it to the right level, the water will do this on the O-ring, and it tells you that you filled it to the proper level. The reason you use distilled water is you don't want any mineral deposits inside these cells. So go ahead and top them off, and then what I like to do is I like to put a charge on the battery just so I start out fully charged. And when you're charging it, you've got to have the caps off. If it's not a sealed battery, you got to have these caps off, and that's to let the hydrogen gas escape, because hydrogen gas is explosive. So let's say I've been charging it with the caps on, and I'm done charging it, and I go to take off the battery charger, and there's a little spark. When I do this, you can explode the battery, and I'm telling you that from experience. That's not a good thing. So we'll go ahead and put a charge on this battery. When you first start charging the battery, it'll take a lot of amps, and then as it's charging, the amps will slowly draw down. If you've got an amp meter on your charger, you'll see that there's the meter right there. You'll see that the amperage rate slowly goes down. While it's charging, every cell will effervesce. You'll see little bubbles coming out of all the cells. If you have a dead cell, there won't be any bubbles coming out of that cell at all. So I always like to look at each cell and watch the little bubbles start coming up. There, you see the movement in those cells? If every cell is doing that, then your battery is taking a charge okay. battery's been charging, and I've turned off the battery charger, and I've just let this sit for a while until all that effervescing stops. So now I can go ahead and take these cables off of here. It's safe to do so. But then the next thing I do is I put this battery on a battery maintainer, and I leave it like that for the rest of the winter. Now, a battery maintainer is nothing more than a small battery charger. They put in a real low current into your battery, and they just keep it up so it doesn't go dead over the winter time. You don't want your batteries to ever go dead. It'll harm the battery, and they just won't accept a good charge after that. So I just hook up a little maintainer like this, and they're fairly inexpensive. Look up battery maintainer on Amazon, and you'll find one on there. This one's kind of old, but it's still working. And I highly recommend you do that, because batteries aren't cheap, you know that. Now you're probably aware of the part where you have to pump that antifreeze through your trailer's system, you know, to your sink, to your shower, to your toilet on your regular camper. And we used to have campers like that. This one's not equipped like that, but back in the day we did have that. And the thing about being here in Montana and being retired is during the wintertime we like to hook up and head south, and we can't be gone for too long, but we'll go south for 2 or 3 weeks and then come back, and then maybe go again that same winter and head down south. And it was kind of a pain in the butt to be winterizing and un-winterizing and winterizing and un-winterizing. So I developed a little system for getting that antifreeze through your RV, so you could do it. You could winterize your plumbing on your RV in just a matter of a couple of minutes. I think newer RVs or more expensive RVs have a system like this. I'm not sure of that, but I kind of think they do, but most of them don't. Let me show you what I did. Okay, to begin with, on your trailer or your motorhome, whatever, you need to drain your holding tanks and drain your water tank. And then after you drain them, you want to put a little of that RV, or a lot of that RV antifreeze in each tank, because there's going to be a residual amount left in each one. So pour that antifreeze in each tank. Now you need to pump antifreeze through the system of your RV, to your kitchen sink, to your toilet, to your shower. You need to pump that pink liquid all the way through. The thing is that even though you've drained your water tank, there's still going to be a residual amount of water left in there that just doesn't come out. And that antifreeze that you've poured into your tank is going to be diluted. And if you live in an area that goes below zero like we do, that can be a problem. So you want to make sure you get a nice strong antifreeze through that trailer RV system. So I've got a little thing that I did to make it easy to do that, and it made it so that I could winterize my trailer and un-winterize my trailer and winterize it again in just a matter of a couple of minutes. I do it on the road. We would head down into Arizona, head for Arizona in the wintertime, and when we got down to areas that weren't freezing anymore, we would un-winterize the system, go spend our couple of weeks down there thawing out, and then on the way back when we hit Idaho or something, I could stop at a truck stop and winterize the system in just a few minutes and continue on heading home. This is how I did it. Let me start by saying I'm no artist. I'd use a ruler, except I can't draw a straight line with one. So here we go. Just to be basic, let's say that this is the water tank from your trailer, and there's a line coming out of it that goes to an electric pump, and then the line from your electric pump goes and it feeds, the bathroom and the kitchen and all that. We'll just put a EP right here for electric pump. Okay? So this is simple. All you're going to do is cut the line right here, and you're going to put a T in the line, and from that T you're going to put in a valve. So wait a minute now, trust me, this is way simpler than this sounds. I'm going to show you. So we're going to put a T right there, and we're going to come to a valve, and then we're going to just continue on with the length of hose. That's it. So there's a T and a valve. And over here, you're going to put another valve right in here. So what we want to do is, when we come time to do the winterization, we're going to close this valve off here, and we're going to open this valve here, and we're going to stick this into a jug of antifreeze. There's my jug. And we're just going to put the line in the antifreeze, and we're going to turn on the pump. This valve is now closed, right? We're going to turn on the pump, and we're going to pump out of here and right through the lines, and it'll be straight antifreeze. In my 26-foot trailer, I could use 1 gallon is all it took to pump it to the shower, into the toilet, and to the kitchen sink. That was it, straight antifreeze. So let's go to the hardware store, and I'm going to show you how simple this is. By the way, to actually do this is something you can probably do in 20 minutes, and just for a handful of parts. So let's go to the hardware store and see what those parts look like. Okay, to do this we're going to need one of these. This is assuming that the water lines on your RV are 1/2 inch. And if they're not, just buy accordingly. Most of them are 1/2 inch though. So we need a 1/2 inch T. Going to need 2 of these. They're 1/2 inch and they've got the barb on either side, so they'll fit right up in the hose. Okay, and you're going to need 7 of these. 7 hose clamps. Okay, and the last thing you need is just a few feet of this. Now here they only sell it in a roll, but you can go to like an Ace Hardware or something and buy this by the foot. And it's got a 1/2 inch inside diameter, and that's what you need. Alright, so that's it. 2 1/2 inch ball valves. I got the ones here that have a barb on each side, because they fit right into the hose. 2 1/2 inch valves, 1 1/2 inch T, 7 hose clamps, and you only need about 4 feet of this hose. That's it. But I just wanted to show you what you'd need to do the job. I think total cost on that would have been about $35 if you went somewhere else to buy the hose, because they only sold the, I don't know, like a 20-foot section of hose there or something. But like I say, most hardware stores you can buy that hose by the foot. Okay, just to go over this. This is the line that goes from your freshwater tank to the electric pump. All you're going to do is, along that line somewhere, you're going to cut it and put in that 1/2 inch T. Onto that T, you're going to put that 4 feet of hose, reinforced hose. Then you're going to cut the line again right here, and you're going to put in a 1/2 inch ball valve. And then you're going to cut that length of 4-inch hose somewhere, and you're going to put in the other 1/2 inch ball valve. Then all you do is you just close this valve. After you've emptied your tank out, you close this valve and you open this valve, stick the other end of the hose into that RV antifreeze, water system antifreeze, and just go to your various faucets and your toilet and everything, and just run the water in each one until the pink fluid comes out, and that's it, you're done. Well, I don't care for this time of year when I'm shutting things down and winterizing things. Kind of spoils the fun. But right after the holidays, you can bet that Linda and I are going to be heading south. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please give it a like and a share, and subscribe if you would. I appreciate it, and we'll see you around.